Hey everyone, I'm not going to waste your time with a long intro. This video is how I would rewrite Sakura part 2. This is an ongoing series of how I'd rewrite her, so if you haven't watched part 1 of my series, I encourage you to do so, because while I wouldn't say that you can't watch this first, you'll definitely appreciate the added context of part 1 in this video series watching part 2. Because of the fact that part 1 focuses on part 1 of Naruto, whereas this one focuses on Shippuden, you don't necessarily need to watch part 1, but the added context of watching part 1 would be appreciated. Add to the fact that I go into further detail about my reasoning for making the decisions I make, as well as talking about Sakura's backstory in that first video. And yeah, I would suggest you should watch that one first. But hey, it's a free country and a free platform, so if you want to watch part 2 now and then circle back, that's cool too. It's your prerogative. Anyway, in this video we're going to focus on Shippuden Sakura, as arguably this is when the damage to her character was so bad it was irreparable. That's why I'm here to change some of that. Also, this series is old, but if you haven't watched it, spoilers. With that out of the way, Malik, run the tune.
I said off the rip, I don't care what they say. Spin the block, let it rip like some Beyblades. Got them holding on to they damn crucifix. I'm shutting everything down. Mwah, Pluto's kiss. Got them like, who is this? Malik with the newest. I got it and I ain't losing it. I'm too smart, too clever. I'm going full demon mode. Inuyasha can never. Now that we are here, the ops really want peace. Team full of crew villains carry more than one piece. Married to the streets, got down on one knee. Team eating real good, teethering on gluttony. I heard all the chirping, and I heard the beacon too. You claim you got a cannon, you just might need two. Heard you talking big, I'll give you a week or two. We are gonna turn you into ash if we get a Pikachu.
Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about how we're going to fix her in Shippuden. And I gotta say, for the beginning of Shippuden, I wouldn't change much. So for the bell test and the Kage rescue mission, I'd leave Sakura as is, at least in concept. See, in the beginning of Shippuden, Sakura really turns a corner from being useless Sakura to a halfway capable ninja. In her on-screen time during the beginning of Shippuden, she was a serious contributor to the passing of the bell test with Naruto against Kakashi, had progressed very well as a healer, and along with Granny Chiyo, defeated Sasori, a member of the Akatsuki. Not only that, but there are flashbacks to Sakura in the Chunin exam, where she's teamed up with Ino and Choji, and in this arc, she's arguably the MVP of their team. Technically, we find that out in hindsight, but I say all of that to illustrate the point of how early Shippuden Sakura showed some good signs of a Sakura we would like and would fit nicely in my part 1 rewrites. First of all, it fits more of my slow build change with Sakura in my rewrites of part 1, and second of all, Sakura is just a better character in the beginning of Shippuden. So yeah, we're not going to change it too much. The one thing I would do though is have Sakura display the substitution jutsu more and in more interesting applications, as that was her new thing in my timeline. 2, she beats Sasori with Chiyo still, but the ending will be Sakura unknowingly breaking Chiyo's puppet strings and landing that chakra punch we mentioned in part 1, which kills Sasori. This is to symbolize that she's capable of great power when she focuses on it. However, the damage to Sakura's character really starts from the Tenchi Bridge reconnaissance mission arc, and there forward, as she never really recovers after that. See, it's pretty much confirmed that this is around the time Kishimoto gave up on trying to make Sakura a prominent character and stopped a lot of his plans for her due to low popularity. It's my belief that because of this, not only does Sakura get significantly less screen time, but her screen time is used as a plot device to make others look strong, and thus her weak in the process. So let's change that. The Tenchi Bridge reconnaissance mission arc I wanted to go as it did until Sakura and Naruto encounter Orochimaru and Sasuke. From here, I wanted to break out into 3 battles: Sai and Yamato versus Kabuto, Orochimaru versus Naruto, and Sakura versus Sasuke. Now, I want Sakura to be a lot more competitive with Sasuke in this battle, but specifically that Sakura can withstand Sasuke's taijutsu. Any attempts at genjutsu that Sasuke tries on Sakura, Sakura fights off, because keep in mind that Sasuke is not the genjutsu user his brother is, and chakra control is kind of Sakura's thing. But at the same time, I want it to be clear that Sasuke is stronger than Sakura. So, I want it to be heavily implied that Sasuke is not fighting to kill. He is pulling his punches a bit, because he doesn't want to seriously injure Sakura. He just wants her to buzz off. Because remember, he doesn't actually hate Naruto or Sakura. He just wants to kill Itachi in the end. But he's having a hard time doing that because Sakura is actually making him work a little bit. AKA, Sasuke can clearly win, but because Sakura is a legit threat, he has to go a bit harder than he'd like. Now, I want all these things to be present in their fight until Sasuke calls Sakura annoying in the fight. See, remember how in part 1 of my video series I said, and Sasuke say something along the lines of, "No, she's just annoying." I want him to say that specifically because I want this to be a scarring and traumatic experience for Sakura. Yeah, this is where this will pay dividends, and that whole vulnerability aspect I also mentioned will make a lot more sense. See, Sasuke uses the word annoying on Sakura to keep her away as she's getting too close emotionally, but Sakura is traumatized by being called annoying by Sasuke. Keep in mind, in my revised timeline, this was the last word she heard after she got jumped by the Sound Ninja 4. Sasuke uses the word to keep her safe while also pushing her away as he tries to achieve his goals, aka creating distance. But Sakura sees it as being cast aside by someone who is sending mixed signals. See, what I'm trying to do here is make Sasuke and Sakura a toxic relationship and a commentary on one, specifically how lack of communication can create problems, but have them grow as the series goes along. This, in my opinion, is what I think Kishimoto was trying to do here, but be it fan pressure or studio pressure, he ultimately failed to do so and turned Sakura and Sasuke into more of a wish fulfillment fantasy on the male side. Now, once Sasuke calls Sakura annoying in this fight, that's when the tide starts to change. Sakura initially looks like she's got the advantage as her punches have more zip to them and she's causing more damage to the environment, but she isn't exactly landing because she's now fighting dumber and more predictable. This causes her to lose chakra quicker and ultimately run out, causing Sasuke to be able to put her out with a genjutsu. Sasuke then proceeds to do what he did to Naruto in the original timeline, showing the gap between him and Team 7. When Sakura wakes up, she apologizes to the rest of the team and goes into a crying fit because she was made to look like a fool. Now, I do want to stress, I don't want this crying fit to be bratty crying. I want it to be more kind of apologetic and contrite. There's a fine line between crying and sobbing and looking weak, and I want that line to be straddled but not crossed. Anyway, back on topic, it's at this point I want to insert a new plot point and not just change the old one. I want to give Sakura what my anime friend group would call a Colonel Mustang moment, aka she gets to give someone a beatdown. Now, in the anime, there is a filler arc called the 12 Guardian Ninja arc, and in my timeline, I want this to be a canon story with some significant changes. First, I want it to be specifically Ino, Sai, Sakura, and Yamato doing this mission. Second, I want this to be directly before Kakashi sees them both in the hospital about Sasuke's growth and the invention of the Rasen Shuriken. Honestly, I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, as I'm about to explain what happens in this arc, it'll just make more sense timeline-wise for Kakashi to visit them in the hospital after. And 2, this way we can present Ino as being able to get through to Sai and make him more friendly. A, it makes the Ino and Sai romantic pairing make more sense. And B, this makes Sai's behavioral shift post Tenchi Bridge arc look way more natural. Now, in terms of the arc itself, I wanted to go kind of the same way plot point wise, just with different characters obviously. However, that's until Sakura's win against Fuin. See, I want Sakura to be a lot more dominant in her win with Fuin, and after Fuin is defeated, Sakura will keep punching Fuin full blast. And she'll say something like, "How dare you try to trick me, and I won't be made a fool again," over and over. This is important, because all of a sudden, the combination of this arc goes from, "Oh look, Sakura got a win," to, "Oh, she's beating her down to an uncomfortable degree." In other words, Sakura is suffering from PTSD and is in mid-panic attack as she's attacking Fuin. Then I want Ino and Sai to see Sakura doing what she's doing and calm her down. Sakura will finally stop punching Fuin, leaving her a bloody, beaten mess, and then Sakura is then taken to a ninja hospital where Naruto is still recovering from his fight with Sasuke, but instead of needing physical help, she'll need help with her PTSD. And they try their best, but it's clear that the ninja hospital is not equipped to deal with mental health, so they allow her to be released without actually doing anything to get to the root cause of her issue. I do this because this now makes Sakura's creation of the mental health wing of Konoha's ninja hospital not just something she did for Rock Lee and for others' sake, but also a personal project Sakura cares about for her own sake. So, all that to say is, I want to take this filler arc that was the 12 Ninja Guardian arc and make it canon in my timeline, so that way we can use it as an opportunity to advance the story the way I'd like. Now, it's at this point after this Tenchi Bridge reconnaissance mission and, well, technically the 12 Guardian arc, you're going to see the screen time for Sakura dip significantly. So it's at this time I want to use filler episodes as opportunity. In my timeline, I'm also going to make some filler episodes be more canon, but change the fillers so to imply that Sakura is trying to be more closer with Naruto and they start to hang out more. Still have her be more of a tsundere, but make the dere part of that more prominent now. This will be important for later. Now, skip ahead to the Battle of Konoha during the Pain arc. And my thing was always that Sakura got no chance to shine here. I mean, how the hell does Konohamaru get more combat screen time than Sakura, who is stuck healing people and screaming for Naruto to come save them? I think it's a great character intro for Naruto, but that doesn't work for me, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
So here's how we change that and still give Naruto his badass entrance. In my timeline, Sakura is healing people with Tsunade, but Kakashi is fighting Pain in front of them and inevitably dies. This will send Sakura into a rage and starts emitting visible chakra as she's tearing into the Pains. Now I want to be clear, she's using her chakra to fight as well as heal. In spite of that, she takes down two Pains, the Preta path and the human path. Now in this fight, I want these specific paths to be taken down in specific ways. The human path is going to get got by a substitution jutsu, to which Sakura will then sneak up on him and then punch him out. However, it's going to be a double substitution jutsu trick. She's going to hit him with it twice, and then she'll sneak up on him from under the ground and punch him out. Almost similar to how Naruto beat Neji. It's supposed to be kind of a callback to symbolize how close they are and how she takes inspiration from him. As for the Preta path, this is going to be a lot more difficult. See, the Preta path is known as more of a blitzer, or if you're a fighting game aficionado, what we'd call a rushdown character. Kind of a glass cannon, and not very good in the mid-range, but will blitz you and overwhelm you. So, this is where I want Sakura to actually debut a move I would kind of call a check left hook of sorts. It doesn't have to be called exactly that, but the idea is that Sakura counters people on the way in, similar to a check left hook, which then counters the Preta path and puts them down for the count. However, Sakura is going to eventually run into trouble. See, despite the fact she's had success taking out 2 of the pains, due to her lack of knowledge of how these paths actually work, because obviously, and her having trouble getting close to the opponents who are zoners, she struggles against the animal path. As a result, she is defeated by it because the animal path has the ability to resummon animals even after Sakura has killed one after the other. Now, you would say that Sakura would just have to kill the summoner, however, she just straight up can't get to them due to the fact that they are zoners and keep moving away from Sakura as they resummon. It's at this point that Sakura runs out of chakra, and then the Ashura path as well as the Diva path deal with Sakura and are about to land the finishing blow. When Sakura is about to be killed, she thinks back to her time on Team 7 and has an internal monologue of how she should have been better to Naruto when he was so good to her and didn't ask for anything in return. She then says, "I'm sorry, Naruto," out loud, and then Naruto appears and saves her. Sakura then thinks to herself, "Am I in love with Naruto?" Now, I want it to be clear that she's questioning. She's confused. She doesn't know if she's all the way in love with Naruto. She just knows that she cares about him deeply. After that, everything else happens exactly like it did in the anime, except Sakura is a bit more battered. Which means, yes, Hinata still confesses to Naruto, meaning we've got a bit of a love triangle. Okay, now we're going to skip ahead to the 5 Kage summit, and everything up until the events of Sai's talk with Sakura about how Naruto's promise to her is keeping him from being able to move on from Sasuke happens exactly like it did in the anime. But now it hits different because it's actually implied Sakura is at least genuinely considering a romantic relationship with Naruto. So she agrees that the Konoha 11 minus Naruto will find Sasuke. But when Sakura comes to Naruto telling him not to worry about looking for Sasuke because she loves him, she'll at least think she means it. However, I want to change how she talks to Naruto. I want a little bit more of an emotional meeting between the two. Keep in mind, these two are close and do love each other. I just want to be clear that they're not in love with each other. Obviously, the plan is to still defeat Sasuke without Naruto, but I want Sakura to be way more confused about her feelings towards Naruto. She knows she wants Naruto to stop looking for Sasuke, and she knows she wants him not to worry about her. But instead of the stone cold lie in the original timeline, in my version, she's angry at Naruto for continuing to pursue Sasuke because it's killing him. They have an argument. Now, how the argument goes is up to you, but I wanted to kind of go this way. I want her to say that she's telling him to stop and doesn't care what he has to say back. I want him to kind of retort back with a, "How can you abandon our friend?" And that he's going to go after Sasuke no matter what for his own reasons. And she's going to reply back that he's injured her multiple times. Naruto will remind her of the context of those run-ins and that she still has feelings for Sasuke, to which she'll then yell out, "Well, have you thought that I've changed and I don't have feelings for Sasuke anymore? I have feelings for you." At this point, pin drop silence. And then Naruto will say the iconic line, "I hate people who lie to themselves." Sakura will then gasp, tear drops down her face, and she'll turn around and scene. See, I want Sakura to come off as a confused 16-year-old who, A, is a few months removed from having a panic attack, and B, has feelings for Sasuke but understands the problems with that because she's smart and does not want that. So she's convincing herself to go with the quote-unquote safe pick in Naruto. And I want Naruto to come off as a matured person who's grown and understands that A, he's going after Sasuke for his own reasons. B, while Sakura definitely cares about him and loves him, she's not in love with him. And C, Sakura definitely has feelings for Sasuke, but she just doesn't want to admit it because of his actions after leaving Konoha. I want this complexity of their situation to show. I think in the original timeline, this is what Kishimoto wanted to show. He just wasn't very tactical in how he went about showing it. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there are people who are definitely not going to like how Sakura looks even in this moment here in isolation, but I'm hoping with the seeds I set up to this point, notably the 12 Guardian Ninja arc and the Pain arc, It makes this moment way more acceptable in context. Now, when Sakura and the rest of the Konoha 11 leave, I want Hinata specifically to ask her if she meant what she said to Naruto. To which she says, of course not, and that she was only trying to get him to stop. But I want it to be implied that she's only saying that to save face, and in the moment, actually kinda sort of meant it. Then someone asked why they didn't just tell Naruto the truth, and this interaction actually happened in the original timeline, so I would just refer to the original timeline here. After that, have Sakura go and pursue Sasuke the same way she did to get to Sasuke, meaning she still tricks the rest of the Konoha 11. Now, I want Sakura to initially have the ability to sneak attack Sasuke because he's about to kill Karin, but then thinks back to Naruto's words and hesitates. After which Sasuke realizes she's there and stops his attempt to kill Karin. Then after, she reveals herself and Obito will say, it appears we have a visitor, because Obito saying that kind of sounds badass in my head. Anyway, she then saves Karin in the process. She says, I'm taking you back to the Leaf, to which the two of them fight. She's not going to try to trick him like in the original timeline. She's going to have a battle with him ninja to ninja. And Obito does not interfere because he didn't interfere in the original timeline, so why would he now? Now, for those who say this is unrealistic and Sakura can't compete with Sasuke, keep in mind that A, Sakura is stronger now and she defeated 2 Paths of Pain with having 0 prep time or knowledge, and B, Sakura is meeting him after he just killed Danzo, so we can present to the audience that at the time of their meeting, Sasuke is tired and depleted, meaning she has a real shot at beating him. So in my timeline, they fight and they are competitive, but Sasuke gets the upper hand and is about to land the finishing blow via Chidori, but can't and powers down. She asks why did he stop. He then goes on this specific tirade. I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you away. Why didn't you just listen to me? You're so annoying. Sakura is frozen and is about to say something back, and then Kakashi, not realizing the combo Sasuke and Sakura had, steps in to save Sakura. From this point, the tussle will include everything that happened in the original timeline, including Kakashi's talk with Sasuke, and Sakura almost killing Sasuke, but then hesitating. However, when Sasuke sees this, he's about to kill her in retaliation, but hesitates as well, giving Naruto the split second he needs to stop him and save Sakura. This is supposed to imply that they both at the very least have feelings for each other, and it's not a one-sided infatuation. Maybe Sakura likes Sasuke more, maybe Sasuke likes Sakura more, I don't care. The point is that it feels more double-sided, but they are both toxic as hell, which not good in real life, but fun for anime. Hey everyone, it's Michael from the future. I kind of want to address something here because I know someone in the comments is going to say this seems kind of out of character for Sasuke here, and I respectfully disagree. See, Sasuke isn't necessarily a person who kills indiscriminately or is evil for evil's sake. He is a person who is one-track minded, and in this case, it's revenge on Itachi and later Konoha. See, it's clear that Kishimoto wanted Sasuke to feel like his relationship with the rest of Team 7, well, Team 7 Sans Sai, is a distraction from that goal of vengeance because they make him happy and in turn unfocused. The entire reason he left Konoha in the first place was because of this. So having Sakura still be a distraction for him, and that being the reason he can't execute, actually fits in with his character better in my opinion. Because if he felt like he was focused enough and could execute, then he wouldn't have taken Orochimaru's offer. He wouldn't have left the Leaf. He would have just kept training in Konoha and eventually killed Itachi when they met up. Also, selfishly, it goes back to the whole idea of making him vulnerable when it comes to Sakura, which is something I explained in my guidelines I wanted to have be prominent. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. So it's at this point the war arc happens, and I'm not going to go in super long detail because the arc is long and it's busy. There's a lot going on. Instead, I wanted to list the changes I'd make to the war arc specific to Sakura. 1. I want it to be explicitly said that she is the best healer in the Shinobi Alliance. Point blank. 2. She can fail at killing Obito, but I don't want it to be that she froze. I want it to be because Madara is just straight up quicker than her. That's it. I'd even have it so that Madara sees Sakura trying to kill Obito initially and makes a beeline for her right away so that they can fight for a little. 3. No line about how she's finally caught up to Naruto and Sasuke. This is really, really dumb, and this is something that anime likes to do a lot, of telling and not showing. Just show that she's caught up if you really want her to catch up. 4. At some point of Sasuke's arrival to the battlefield, Sasuke apologizes to her and says she's not annoying, and for Sakura to accept his apology, which then puts her on the path to recovery for her PTSD. 5. The battle between Naruto and Sasuke still happens because we don't get the Sasuke journey of redemption without it. Also, keep in mind at this point, Sasuke feels like this is the only way to fix the ninja world. So this is more of a case of he has to do it. And 6. Sakura and Sasuke acknowledge that they have a lot of work to do on themselves before having a relationship with each other, but the two share a kiss and pledge fidelity to each other before Sasuke goes on his journey of redemption. Let me add for point 6 that I like this caveat because it makes way more sense why Sakura would be okay with a long distance relationship due to the fact that technically there is no long distance relationship. Okay, now that we've covered all of Naruto Shippuden, for the conclusion of Naruto / the beginning of Boruto, I'd want to make a couple changes. 1. Sasuke goes to Naruto's wedding. Look, unlike most fans, I get why he didn't go, believe it or not. A lot of people forget that while he's pardoned, he's still a guy who harmed a lot of people who went to that wedding, either directly or indirectly. And B, this is a group of people whose ancestors and village were responsible for genociding his clan. It's not like he's going to want to shake hands and do the can-can with them. However, I think it would show growth as well as contribute to his path of redemption to at least try to communicate with the people he's abandoned and show contrition on his part. And it makes a lot more sense for the village to maintain a lasting peace if they're at least trying to accept Sasuke with open arms. I also think having Sakura there with Sasuke, doing things like holding his hand and trying to support him during this awkward time, shows that their love has grown past that superficial stage that everyone got mad at during the original Naruto timeline. But instead, in this new timeline, they actually love each other for more than just their looks. Sakura loves Sasuke because he's driven, and at heart, he wants to do good. She also gets that he went to the extremes he did because he has to grapple with the fact that his village that he once called home is also responsible for the genocide of his clan and is giving him grace because of that. On the other side, Sasuke loves Sakura because she's tough, smart, and loyal. Second change, Sasuke checks in with Sakura a lot more, specifically on days they consider memorable, i.e. her birthday, his birthday, the day Team 7 became official. Although with this one, including Naruto and Kakashi during this specific day would be cool. I think this is just better because again, we are trying to make Sakura and Sasuke feel less one-sided. And I felt like Sakura just waiting for Sasuke to come as he doesn't communicate with her felt super one-sided. And change number 3. Add that on top of the many contributions she's made to the ninja world, she is the head trainer for the Kunoichi in the Anbu. This is meant to train and integrate Jonin Kunoichi into the Anbu. This is just a personal thing for me. It has no bearing to the actual storyline and concept. It's just that if you say women are equal in the ninja world, you say that any woman can be just as strong and Hokage, then I think you have to act like it. Have women and men working together and be equal, but sometimes the women being better than the men and vice versa. Like, it doesn't have to be 50-50. I'm even cool with like a 70-30. But the point is that in this world where you have presented it as equal, why is it that the men always beat the women? I don't understand. So I think having some sort of like integration of female ninja who aren't just there to be healers, and Sakura being the head of that kind of pushes her legacy forward. But I know that might get a little spicy in the comments, which is cool. I only ask that you keep it civil. With that being said, I think this is a good time to end the rewrite and thus the video. Sorry for the delay, by the way. Life on the back end is getting busier and busier for me as I'm kind of going through some of these life milestones. And yeah, as a result, the video kind of took way longer than I wanted it to. Hopefully this was well worth the wait too. If you liked it, like, share, subscribe, and comment below to help the algorithm. If you didn't like it, you know, it's a free country. You're allowed to not like things. Comment below why you didn't like it too, by the way. And also, really would appreciate you if you joined as a member, as it helps me out. So until next time, later, and stay safe.